Katie here, and welcome to my channel.
Hey! How's it going today? I hope that you're doing well. I've been watching a lot of YouTube as usual. It's basically my life. It's literally in the background for everything I do until I get done going through my whole subscription list and then I switch over to Netflix or Disney Plus. So that's the life, you know, that's what I do. So I'm curious though, does anybody else watch YouTube like that? Like I literally, when I turn on YouTube, I'll scroll all the way down to the last video I watched and then I'll watch every video as the next one comes. Like, is that weird? But how do you watch YouTube? I would love to know. Go ahead, leave a comment down below. Today's video is so fun. I am going to be making apple butter, which is not something that I eat often, but I have been craving it recently. I love apples, I love spices, and that's essentially all it is. It's applesauce that's cooked 100 times more with 300 more times spices, and honestly, I'm just going to be here for it today. I'm using a recipe from Spending with Pennies. It's a homemade apple butter recipe. It consists of 3 pounds of sweet apples. I'm using Gala apples, pretty high on the sweet meter right there. And then we're also going to need 2/3 cup light brown sugar, half a cup granulated sugar, 2.5 teaspoons of ginger, some nutmeg, allspice, ground cloves. I had a thought on that. I'm just going to use pumpkin spice. I love pumpkin spice, you guys. It's so good in everything. I'm thinking, to be honest, of putting it into my chicken noodle soup, homemade chicken noodle soup recipe. You might think that's weird, but I have some secret ingredients that are along the same flavor profiles. So I might try it. Anyways, you're also going to need a tablespoon of lemon juice and 3/4 cup of apple juice, and on that I'm going to be using apple cider. So yeah, I guess I gotta prep and peel these apple pieces. I gotta peel them, I have to core them, and then I have to cut them up into like 1-inch pieces or something. So I'm just gonna go ahead and do that.
Okay, so I have all the ingredients laid out in front of me. This is 3 pounds of apples. They're Gala apples, peeled, cored, and chopped roughly into like 1-inch pieces. And into that we're going to do about a cup of the apple cider vinegar. Sorry, the apple cider, which does not feel like enough, but I think I'm just gonna cook this with a top on, so hopefully that ends up working out. We're also going to use 2/3 cup of, I don't have light brown sugar, I have this dark brown sugar, but it's brown sugar, so 2/3 of this dark sugar, half a cup of white granulated sugar, and it says 2.5 teaspoons of cinnamon, 3/4 teaspoon ground nutmeg, half teaspoon allspice, a half teaspoon ground cloves. I believe that roughly translates to 4 1/4 teaspoons of spices. So I'm gonna run out of this stuff faster than I want to. But I'm gonna go with 4 1/2, just about, of pumpkin spice. That was 3, right? So it's about a half, I think. No. Okay. Oh my goodness. I usually don't use wooden spoons because they seem so fancy. But I guess I'm using a wooden spoon today. Okay, there we go. And I'm just gonna put a lid on this, put it on the stove on a medium-low heat. Okay, so it's on the stove, as you can see, and as you can see right here, it's going to be about 30 minutes till that timer goes off, and I'll check on it, and we'll get to blending it all together, and then cooking it down into the butter. So it's the next morning because I am supposed to blend this stuff up next, and I didn't want to put it into the blender hot, so I let it cool and then I fell asleep, and now it's now, so I guess we should get into that. I did end up putting a cup more liquid in there just because it can be, you know, simmered down and it'll add more flavor. But the apples are semi-transparent, you know, they looked cooked. They taste phenomenal. I think I'm gonna have to do this in 2 batches, but I'm gonna try and put all of it in the blender. From what I've gathered, the consistency you're looking for is like a nice puree, not quite applesauce, but like a puree. Is applesauce puree? I don't know. Someone comment down below. Tell me if you would consider applesauce puree. So I'm just going to turn this on. And then you see how nice and creamy that is? It's just got like a smooth texture. I mean, this is basically apple butter already. It just needs to be cooked down. Go ahead and pour this directly in. And now all that's left to do is put this on a low heat on the stove and let it simmer and reduce the water in it for the recipe I had said 30 minutes to an hour, but I put more liquid in mine, so it's probably going to take, and I'm using a lower heat, so it's probably going to take like 3 hours, maybe. I don't know, we'll see. I'll update you. Okay, so the butter's ready. I'm actually super excited about this. Like, look at that gorgeousness. Oh my gosh. It smells good too. I think gonna make 2 of these like regular size pickle jars. I don't know. Have yet to find that out. But I got these cutie patootie little croissants, and I figured I'd attempt, apparently. To try this apple butter with some butter, a little bit of cream cheese, and then by itself. And I'm super excited. You know, I never really actually liked apple butter growing up. It was weird to me. The weird color. Tasting this, it has a little bitter aftertaste, and I really didn't like bitter flavors. I didn't like coffee. Still don't like Brussels sprouts. It just wasn't that good. So I can understand why. Also, just look at this color. It's just so strange to me. But just put a little smear on there. That was good. Now this apple butter, I believe uncanned, like this isn't canned. A pop top on it. It's gonna last, I think, 3 months? No, that was the tapioca pearls. I think it's gonna last a month was what my research told me. In the fridge, it can last a lot longer if you actually can it. To me, I don't know how it's canned yet, but let me tell you what, this is unsalted butter. That right there is indeed a winner. I think that's probably going to be my favorite way to eat this. But yeah, I don't know how to can, and I'm not gonna spend the money right now on figuring out how to, because also I heard it's kind of dangerous if you don't do it right. So I don't know, cream cheese is a little weird with it. Makes me think I'm eating a bagel though, so that's probably why, but I like the butter one best, but yeah. I don't know how cohesive this video is going to turn out to be, but I hope that you enjoyed it and that you have a lovely day. I've gotta go and, you know, things. Bye! Can we get a slow-mo of that? How? How did that happen?